I just don't understand this. I posted a really good post this week and on the discussion board. Why did I only get 50 points? I answered every one of your questions you asked us. I should get 100.
Well, the reason why you only got 50 is you have to post twice per discussion, and each post can't be worth more than 50 points. So if you post a really good post, it'll only be worth 50 points. Even if you post like 10 pages, you have to post twice per discussion at least.
Oh. I also posted one last week, and I didn't get any points. I thought we had 2 weeks after the due date to make our points, to get our points.
Well, you do, but you have to post once before the due date. If you don't post at least once before the due date, you won't get any points, even if you post a lot of times afterward. So if you post once by the due date, and you only get 10 points, then you can keep posting for 2 weeks after that, but if you don't post anything before it's due, then you can't keep posting.
Oh, I get it.
Great! Okay, so let's go back now to the previous page. Below that, you'll see some keys for success. These are just some reminders for you so that as you're working on your class, if you keep these things in mind, you should do pretty well in the class. First of all, online classes are a little different from face-to-face classes because no one is going to call you up and make sure you're doing your work. And unlike in a regular class where if you don't turn in your homework, your teacher is going to ask you why, it's possible that, you might not come to my online class and I would have no way to reach you. So therefore, it takes a lot of discipline on your part. Another thing is it requires good time management skills because although you could leave everything off until the day it's due, and you'll notice all the due dates for this course are on Sundays, what you'll find is that it's about 6 to 12 hours of work a week, just like it would be in a regular face-to-face class. And if you leave everything until Sunday, your Sundays are not going to be very fun. So you probably want to make sure you spread it out a little bit during the week so that you don't have to do it all at once. Another thing about online classes is you need to make sure that you ask for help when you need help. In a regular face-to-face class, I'll look around the room and I can see sometimes, because of my students' facial expressions or their body language, that they're confused and need extra help. But online I can't see you, and so I don't know if you need help with something. So it's very important that you are willing to ask questions and ask for help. If you don't understand something, you need to speak up and make sure that you ask about it. Another thing is, online classes require a lot more reading and writing than a face-to-face class. So you need to be prepared to do a lot of reading and a lot of writing because there's no talking really. I mean, I'm talking right now, but most of the class is going to consist of you reading things and writing things. So they do require a lot of reading and writing. And finally, you need to plan ahead for disasters, especially when dealing with technology. Whenever you have something where you're dependent on technology, you need to probably allow a little extra time just in case something goes wrong. However, if you do have any problems, one thing you might want to do is call ACCD's tech support number because I am not a tech person, so if you have a tech problem, you'll need to call them. When you're working on files, make sure you back them up, save them in 2 places, because things do go wrong sometimes with technology.
I'm so frustrated. I don't understand anything that I'm supposed to be doing in my online class. It doesn't make any sense to me. It seems like there are all these people in my class who know more than I do, and they understand everything already.
Well then, why don't you ask some questions? Don't you say that you have a bulletin board for that class where you discuss things?
Yeah, but I look really stupid. I mean, everyone else probably already knows all this stuff. I just feel so stupid.
But don't you get points on your discussion for asking questions? I know that in my online course, the instructor gives us points for just asking questions.
Yeah, that's true. I would get points for that, but I'd still look stupid.
I don't think so. Probably a lot of people in your class have the same questions and they're afraid to ask. But listen, if you're worried about that, why don't you go to your professor's office hours and ask her for help, or send her an email.
But I don't want to bother her. I know she's busy.
What do you think these professors are supposed to be doing? They're here to teach us. Anyway, they always seem to like it when I go to their office hours. I think it makes their colleagues jealous or something.
True. Okay, maybe I'll ask on the bulletin board first, and then if no one answers, I'll visit her during her office hours. How's that?
Sounds good.
All right, I'll do that then.
As I mentioned before, a lot of your assignments you will be doing using emusictheory.com. Now, there's a link to emusictheory.com right here, but I actually recommend that instead of using this link, you just go to emusictheory.com in another window. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like and what you'll be doing. When you go into emusictheory.com, you're going to sign in. But right now, you don't have your assigned username and password yet, because remember, you have to email me and tell me what username and password you want to use so that I can enter you into emusictheory.com. But you can start playing around with it now, even though I haven't put you in there yet. So, the way you do that is right down here where it says free theory drills. You can click on that and get an idea of what kind of work you'll be doing. One of your first homeworks is the note names. So I'll show you what that looks like. You're going to click on note names. You can go into the settings and choose how you want it. But once you start, it's going to show you a note, and you're going to click on the letter that matches that note. Now, it's okay if you don't know the answer to these questions right now, because after you read the first chapter of the book, you will know what these notes are. And then, you know, sometimes it's nice just to do these drills for practice, even not necessarily to turn in your homework, but just to practice and get a different way of seeing how you're doing and seeing if you're learning. If we go back to emusictheory.com's homepage, you can see that there's actually some other links on here that are kind of useful. There's one called Interactive Theory, and that is actually a way for learning. And then there's something called Links to Learning. And this is kind of nice because sometimes some students find that maybe the way something's explained in the textbook and the way it's been discussed isn't quite clicking with them, and they don't quite understand what they've been reading. And so these are links to other sources that cover the same information. So if you read a chapter and it doesn't quite make sense to you, you might try visiting some of these links because they have additional information for you. And these are reliable sources of information. I really don't recommend that you use Wikipedia or that you just Google things and try to find the information, because there's a lot of stuff out there that's just not accurate or reliable, including Wikipedia. But these sources here are reliable sources of information, so you can always go there if you're having a little trouble and you just need a little extra help.